What's your outlook for the yuan now? Are we going to get some strength on the back of this weakness now?
Well, I think how we would characterize the China story is we're seeing a slower run rate, but we don't expect there to be any substantial slowdown or a collapse in activity. And as you've mentioned, we may well suggest that the data points point to GDP coming in slightly shy of that 7.5% target. But I think we have to remember that target is a flexible one, and I think we're not necessarily expecting the authorities to be wedded to that. From a currency perspective, clearly I think we've seen obviously some substantial moves in the currency over the course of recent weeks, some two-way volatility being instilled back into the market. I think though over time we will see a gradual appreciation still of the Chinese currency being maintained over the medium term, largely on the presumption that we aren't going to see that collapse, and it is a case that the Chinese currency is still perhaps a little bit shy of long-term valuation metrics.
All right. So you're betting on a rebound for the time being, at least.
Yes, indeed. I think that's the case. I think that will be the assumption that we would expect to play out through the course of the majority of the year. But certainly the PBOC have instilled a little bit of two-way flow to underline to the market that it isn't a one-way bet.
On the euro, it's stable, but or a little bit more stable, but still under pressure. Where's the support?
Yes, absolutely. It is still under some pressure. I think the 100-day moving average in euro-dollar is the obvious key line in the sand, at least in the short term. That comes in around the sort of 137.40 mark. I think there will be clearly interest in terms of what Mr. Wiedmann from the Bundesbank will be saying over the course of the next 24, 36 hours. He may make some references this morning, but I think the key point will be his speech tomorrow, because there are some suspicions that perhaps Mr. Draghi was speaking a little bit off-piste on Thursday in the press briefing, so there could be a little bit of reining back there. But I think it is going to be the case that investors who had been buying back into the euro story on the presumption that we could take out that 140 threshold will continue to lighten positions, particularly if the data points suggest that we are going to see further disinflationary pressures building in Europe.